Still alive, are you? Go on, then. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, and we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place.
Thank you, Sid. Chadwick. Another of my former masters thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Raven. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only
As do I, Doris.
Ready, go? Faster!
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by Akashic. I need to hurry. There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. Locked up tight. This is no time to ride. So this place was no ordinary, and I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled. Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that. They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a Kashyyyk down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
It's over. All yours, Torgal. Go, Torgal. Let darkness.
No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Where would I be without you? Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you. another of the royalist guard dogs. Quite a specimen it is, too.
Get him! This one! Go for it! Attack! Go for it! Enough!
No match for you, eh, Torgal? Where would I be without you?
Trouble with your gear, or... So, what'll it be? Anything else?
First the skies, then the crystal. What next?
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets if we don't cooperate.
I would speak with this Duke.
I saw the captain just now. He's wearing his uniform.
Your town needs you. I need you.
The Duke would have
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed the town was left all but unguarded. So Philippe was compelled, and though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist, so I was wondering if you would lend them your strength.
Of course.
Thank you, Clive. What would... Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of...
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. He must be made to face the consequences of his...
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several... Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath, but he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him by all possible means.
Fight him? No. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of... While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope. But I see that your mind is made up. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry. Well, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch. But perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's...
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
Your town needs you. I need you.
But the Duke would have...
I saw the captain just now. He's wearing his uniform.
Is he handy?
What does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
So you are content to abandon... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Ambrosia won't help me here. Ready, go? Were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
All yours, Torgal. Get him! Over here! Sick! Get him! Farewell!
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other.
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should... You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople. Stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to...
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the...
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale.
Thank you, milady.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds, Philippe. Can I leave the south in your hand?
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way, so what about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And well, I can't...
All right.
Thank you. But
you can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins,
Steel in the hands of every man.
This is more like it. Come on then. Test me. Get him. It's over. It's only just begun. That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems I thank you both for...
You were right, and I was wrong. I had thought that without a strong hand, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together, not by force, nor by the exercise of God, but by simply being one of them. By knowing...
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it, as did you. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without... I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. how I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship. I do not doubt that you came here with the best of it, but I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madam Isabel is a rare soul. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should...
You're right.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The Dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Can we get you anything?
There's no need to worry.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'll be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After...
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long...
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
This the last one?
Just a little further.
We'll have your blades oiled and returned to you.
Thanks for standing with us.
I'm sorry we didn't sooner.
Faster!
Time to fight.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Is everything we've received and everything promised? Here you are. Come again. I may... More for ya.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue-eyed... Do be careful.
I will.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia. Good girl.
Yeah! Be safe.
Trouble with your gear, or... What do you want? Not bad, if I do say so myself. No scratches, all right? Should last you a good while. Anything else?
Still alive, are you? Go on, then. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that.
My Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to...
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman.
From what little I saw.
I suppose I should... But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True. The challenges that face us are the realm's armies, as you've seen firsthand. It's every man. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. In short, if Storm does not stand together...
But how would one even begin to unite them?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowly... But I do know someone the High Commander...
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he... Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid... I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course... But the old goat was adamant that he... You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build... And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian...
Excellent.
No.
What do I owe the honor? Not saying Fornian, do you? And?
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait. A fine choice. You're welcome anytime.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please.
Just make it stop. I'm scared.
It's all right.
Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia.
Time to fight. It can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived
Fucking traitors. I'd heard a report, but I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one. What do you stand to gain?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right, I know I made so long. So many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now, we have a chance to put things, but in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. You are no... I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore all...
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only one.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn...
I'm flattered. And I have other problems. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that, sir? And would he happen to be...
Of a different kind, but...
Beggars can't. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the...
And I will see that my associate joins...
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. I can walk from here. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking... Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think...
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do. The people of Lostwing are my family. You'll have to find someone...
I'm sorry to...
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what they want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves? That's... If it's the vineyard you're worried, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know...
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced... Who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring... I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall...
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany...
That would be very much... I hear the roads are far from...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, the Field Marshal has agreed to...
Of course he has.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not... He asked if I might have a solution. And I...
One of your...
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his.
Another outlaw? Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the Grange.
Oh, don't you? The 7 high houses we'll be seeing. They have all agreed to make the most... Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion. But luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who? What? It was more of a hand...
Well... The old battle axe was... She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed... but I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young...
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the bloody outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm, and to do that we must convince those in power that there will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust we shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you. I want you to keep this signed accord.
I will.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story. Vivian, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not...
Please. You have always... It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more... I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might... But perhaps it is...
If you say so.
Forgive me, but this book... It set me on the path to becoming...
Clive, my boy.
Harpocrates. I've been charged with locating a book called From...
And you seek a rare gem indeed, one whose name I had not thought. You've been to...
Right as always, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible.
The Executors?
Coveters of Secret, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever, or so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why? Secrecy is they lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the exec...
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the Executors can be recounted. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of, but rather less so across the strait. I had a friend. Alas, I have heard naught from him since, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance, if you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them. You wish to study the tomes?
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance.
Subtle. I know who...
Then we need not waste time. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care.
Your care?
That is not my... But by one means or another, it's...
Then I'll have to polite. I won't let you erase.
Then we find ourselves at it. Very well. The book can...
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive, but we have other means.
Why do you want it so bad?
It lays out in no uncertain terms. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression. Would you say that this interpretation...
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, so let me answer. There is no correct that a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single immutable. It is a question of numbers. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred.
So you're trying to control the
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them. That is all. You may keep the book. For the world is small until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Vivian, I found it.
You... Thank you. Even though I asked this of you, I fear the executors had seen...
I met with one of these, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collecting, and that if enough people believe a lie...
It does. But it also means that the truth is not, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their has the sad history of the bear.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or it's all... She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand, and a gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the... And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth. So I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, and that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one...
Do you still feel that way?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather... But the more I study, the more I... So if you'll permit me, remember, Clive, when enough people give the men and women of this benighted world the gift...
I'll try, Vivian. Run like the wind. This might take a while. Back to the stables, girl. Rest in peace.
Lord Marquis?
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across. He sent an owl some while ago.
Was he surveying another?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic?
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the Third Chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
It would not. But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village where he had heard the cult were wont to assemble. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the southern reaches of Waloed. If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes, and may the Firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
This must be Mickleburg. Straight home now. These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe. What is going on?
Ah.
Heed the call? No, to be honest, I wasn't sure I'd...
Is that so?
What are you doing here?
It is my home. The others...
You keep saying that.
They came here to perform the rite. Just this village, where they shall cast their souls upon the
Give themselves.
Oh, Lord, let us free us from the torment of this more.
They want to be set. Forgive me. But did another foreigner, like...
You mean the traveler from Stone? Yes.
Thank you. They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair is still alive. Let's go and find him. Excuse me.
I am. Lord Rosfield.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill.
He said that you had failed to report.
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more you have seen them at their prayers, they devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord, praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked will, not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become a Kashik. I know that it may be hard to believe, but forgive me, my lord. But I must remain here. Did you hear that, my lord?
I'll go and find out what. Beneath the flood. There must be something I... Echoes as well. Found her. Come on. Over here! All yours, What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. Too slow. Let's try. Damn it! Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did, when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
My Lord Marquis, I am glad to see you.
I met with your third chair, Cyril.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in
He died protecting the villagers from it. I buried him in Mickelberg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
If you could not save him...
The villagers, they were... They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of the... Then an ether flood came. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was to...
Then he perished defending liberty. For the right to choose how one dies is no less.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world of...
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most perfect. It matters not how misguided others might judge one's, only that the decision is what we live according to the teachings of our order. For better or worse.
But he didn't die for your creed. And you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe we of the Undying are not slaves, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who they died serving my house. That is my duty.
Of course, I shall fetch the book of my lord. The greatest honor of my life to serve. Though our duties may differ, yours is... And were they here...
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
Here to help me pack. Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished. You're really going to go through with this? I am. But before I go, if it's within my power to help, it's the children. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. I can think of only one place where they are. Of course. Thank you, Clive.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy. A damn big... The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in...
What?
Every last one of the bastards has...
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are... We need to evacuate. Ferda, gather the Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to tell them to prepare for a full... Understood. I'll do what I can to convince... You have to listen to me. They're coming.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? What do you want?
To pass on an import. There's been an ether flood. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering, they're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now. You need to begin preparing for a full scale of...
Oh, do we?
Lubor, perhaps? The man's... You may believe his lies, my lord.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at... If he had not been unmasked, he made a great honor for one. He might well feel a...
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither there...
You may not trust me. But for the sake of your people, if there is any chance that this...
There isn't. You can be... Now, be off with you.
You're making a mistake. It's no use. They're not going to listen to me. We'll just have to do what we can without them. I should speak to Lord Ferda.
I think we'd better shut up.
What's Lubor raving about now?
Lord Ferda.
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the... They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says... A bloody fool. Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you you only have to...
I appreciate it.
Sid! Ferda! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend, and Lubor is in need at this very moment.
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
You who should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far, far away!
Run!
Just go, bearer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes! Go!
Come on, then.
Go on! Go!
Just go.
Lubor.
Wait. Someone's coming.
Go! Come on!
Stop! You're hurting him!
What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly around here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like he doesn't even exist.
Yes, right.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then.
Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Charity. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operation. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this...
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitter... The town guard will muster at the north gate. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts, and as soon as it has been... we will Conrad, can I count on
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of and the command of our men in yours.
Consider it done. As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the towns and tell the merchant not as long as we survive. Our riches can be regained. And if any...
Very well.
Where do I fit into this?
Where else but the most... I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws. The main host is most likely still there. And Dalamil?
A little gardening.
I doubt it.
Luckily so.
So you are? All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it.
Looks like everyone's ready. I better not... There's the flood. But what's waiting for us inside? We can't leave a single one alive. Farewell! The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
Last of them here, perhaps.
Lubo, sit, club.
Clive!
It's done.
I knew you.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been, and we need not fear the arrival of Victory is.
We bloody. Lubor, after all you have done for this town.
But we did. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor.
You do remember that I'm a.
We do. But that is not us. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be.
I see. But I will only.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat? How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubo. About the children.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought. I'll make sure they're safe.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children.
I'll do my... Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril. Yeah.
His will?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith, after Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, and in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course. I want to know what's in that...
Very well. Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous. Cyril, you found a letter from Father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival. He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime. But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
But one at least remains.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she, after all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering... And where is this woman? She awaits you in the archive, Your... Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, what exactly is the gift?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented, alas. He did not live. He had intended to claim the Heartstone, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished art with his grace long since gone. You are grown men now. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing...
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am much...
Do you know where we might find this?
I do. It is found in the bellies of... We do at least know where to find one.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking... Were you to slay it in his stead, as men have...
What say you, Judge?
What else?
Faster!
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
To business. There it is.
Is this the Heartstone?
Oh, thank the Griffin is slain.
And the Heartstone claim.
Yes, this radiant luster. Thank you, my... Your father would...
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. Its symbol and the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies, enemies who would...
And only if we stood together.
Indeed. His grace knew but this was more than just... It was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast...
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all, even if the armbands were incomplete. So...
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though of the deep love he had for both. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her... I tried to warn your father. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short.
And thank the Founder.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the hearts, and so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
The banns. It must be gratifying to finally receive...
It is.
If you would permit me to play my part, let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there, since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hand.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think... strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we... And now... what Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down. Onward, then? Onward.
And to a new beginning.
Sid, I was
It depends what
a bearer, but recently freed from his body. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why...
I don't mind, but...
Because he wants to be... Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of scouting. We're few with the nose for that, which is why, and since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' test?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attacked and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back. All yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
Twinside's hundreds of...
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Those rights will think twice.
I'm nervous. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no...
Oh, of course. Thank you. The sergeant says you'll be evaluated...
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the danger...
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just...
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me, and no magic, no support, just one man. It taught me what one man can do, and I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour.
I'm sure you clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions.
So, what?
You haven't even stopped. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the log. You'll need to assess the situation. Determine a point of entry, all without being discovered and...
Ember. Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you...
Know my limits. Right, I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him.
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me. Let's go. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember,
Draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. All yours, Torgal. Gone. Of course.
The garrison said they'd take another 100 in the box.
Those whites will think twice.
I didn't... Where is Ember?
He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step... He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but...
The right man... I believe this is the logbook you tasked me.
Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy.
What? Wasn't that what you want? To bring the thing back without getting...
He has you then, as heir. And he did it all.
But Sid!
He did what he thought was best.
Of course. Don't you leave me.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
You should have...
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back.
Yes. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you into. But from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve in the face, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on.
Indeed it is. Thank you for your... The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little...
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still... And this time he was found wanting. After all.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade. And any mind can... But a scout's nose is different. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here wouldn't do to waste it.
Fine.
I'll do whatever. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit. I'll show you.
Daft as a brush, that one. But he's up. Just like someone else. And if you ask me, that time the curse breakers took some of the weight off.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't. Next thing. Chump.
Forgive me, Sid. This...
But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Remember that.
I will, Sid.
You all right?
Something troubling you?
It's just... Edda's baby will be...
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north. Fun. Yeah, I'll let the little tykes...
So?
Well, the problem is that Edda's due any day.
Is there anything I can do to... All right, then.
A good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. What? There's no luck yet. Thing is, they're hard to come by.
Only the big day is fast approaching.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Mar. I think I might make that my first port of call.
You're a good friend, Clive.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me.
Oh.
A silver chocobo.
Oh, or maybe not. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, near some gutted hovel. Most took him for a braggart and a liar, but...
We'll see.
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
How do? You've the look of them.
I'm looking for a...
If that's the case, no one has seen it. Word is, they were all hunted for their fed. If any are still out there.
You're probably right.
I've got greens of all
Looking for
shapes
shelter.
and sizes.
Come on inside, I'll introduce you tomorrow.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 of the cashew jars couldn't hurt me.
You wouldn't happen to sell silver...
But if it's fancy...
Was a silver chocobo seen there?
Oh, yes.
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon Tride. Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change. More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. Just borrowing a feather. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav.
It was no trouble.
Clive, how'd you get on? Crystals crack. Where in there?
It's a long
Right there on the road to East.
Everything up there's been abandoned. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may...
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had... They'll find a new home. After all, that's what it... Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one, and now all that's left is to fix...
I didn't know you could cut...
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about, like the fact I'm as good with a whittling, and that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with.
But it weren't your Avis. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done much.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Now will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it one best.
You can give it to yourself. Come on.